I got to kick this thing off. Can I kick it off? 1, 2, 3, 4. Ladies and gentlemen, listen.
Yo, what's good, everybody? You are now listening to another episode of the Man Listen Show. But before we get started, let's hear a few words from our sponsors.
Are costly cable bills giving you the blues? Well, Magic Streams is your answer. Watch all of your favorite teams live in HD. You will also get access to over 1,500 movies and be able to watch TV shows instantly. Magic Streams. Click the link in our bio to get more information.
He's adding that flavor to your function. DD's Daiquiri. Good people, good vibe, one drink at a time. Good people, good vibe, one drink at a time. Flavor to your function. DD's Daiquiri. Good people, good vibe, one drink at a time. Good people, good vibe, one drink. Wanna kick back, wanna just vibe. Word kick back. Let me first slide to the drink store. Let me just buy DD drink mixes, all of them fire. Fill me up a case, I'm finna drop bread. Marvelous mango, classic and red. Took them to the party, these folks won't leave me alone. They wanting me to share, they better get their own. DD's adding that flavor to your function. DD's Daiquiri. Good vibe, one drink at a time. Good vibe, one drink at a time.
Conversate with Us Radio presents the Man Listen Show. We are the blackest radio show on the internet. We bring you our opinion on topics that affect the Black community in an effort to enlighten, enrich, and empower every brother and sister that falls under the sound of our voice. We operate on a no-hating frequency, so be prepared for us to keep it 100% real and 100% Black all the time. Please follow the show on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Man Listen Show. You can subscribe to the show on YouTube, iTunes. Go to our website, www.manlistenshow.com. Listen to all our past episodes, listen to our current episodes, and let everybody know about the blackest radio show on the internet, the Man Listen Show. I'm your host, Marv B. Let's bring the crew in. That just means that we don't go live enough when I be having them little snafus and stuff. You know what I'm saying? But Lav, come on in, bruh. We done lost Lav. All right, he being in a second. Well, what's up with y'all? Y'all good?
I mean, for the most part, yeah.
For the most part. Now we need that all the way good. But anyway, so social media set afire again by the number one arsonist, our sister Mo'Nique. It's like it seems like whenever she comes on, she is what we call polarizing. I think her and Kanye are probably the most polarizing people in the Black community right now. You know what I'm saying? But let me give a recap. I can't imagine nobody not knowing what happened, but I think it was Sunday. Was it Sunday that this happened? I can't even remember when this happened.
It happened Saturday night, but the video I think came out Sunday.
Yeah, it came out Sunday. So Sunday the video came out. Mo'Nique was performing in Detroit. She was performing with DL Hughley. They were putting on a stand-up comedy show. Mo'Nique proceeded to go on a rant about how she felt that DL Hughley somehow exerted his influence to make sure that he was the headliner and he was the closer, and she didn't care for that. She didn't care for that at all. And she proceeded to talk about him, his wife, his dog, everybody. And it set social media ablaze. I mean, you know, Mo'Nique is already polarizing, so there's people who defend her staunchly, and then there are people who, you know, they just don't like Mo'Nique, and there's a lot of those people. So of course, as soon as she came out, the battle lines were drawn. People were, you know, putting their thoughts into what happened, and you know, a lot of evidence came out. DL presented his contract, Mo'Nique presented her contract, and all of a sudden, everybody on social media became entertainment attorneys and wanted to say what was happening. But I think at the end of the day, I think folks got tired of it pretty quick. I know both sides. You know, DL went on his show and gave his story. Mo'Nique just put out on social media with her and her husband about where they were coming from. So we're just going to talk about it tonight, you know, and it's pretty polarizing. Y'all know where I stand. I'll team Mo'Nique, but we're going to get everybody's opinion. And yeah, we live on Facebook. So make sure if y'all got a comment or a question, leave it in the chat. We'll have Arika see a laugh, whichever one of y'all pull it up, they'll read it. But who want to start off? Arika, you rolling your eyes about Mo'Nique. I know you've been hating on her since she told you to start wearing that bonnet to the
Listen,
to the
I have
grocery
not been
store.
hating on her.
You've been mad at her since she told you that bonnet ain't appropriate in public.
No,
know
I
you
have
wanna
not
go
been mad
forward.
at her. See, that's the difference. You're really acting like it's only two categories.
Take that
People who
bonnet off.
support her and people who hate on her. We could disagree. We disagree right now. That don't mean I dislike you. You know what I'm not going to do, though? I'm not going to go into court before a trial and rant about how I don't like the justice system. You want to know why? Because that's my job and that's unprofessional. So when I go to a comedy show, what I need her to do is tell jokes. I don't want to hear about your job. I don't want to hear about your contract disputes. I don't want to hear about anything that your people should be handling for you. So yes, I disagree with how she handled it. I don't like or dislike her. I don't like or dislike DL Hughley. I don't know these people. They could both be trash. They could both be amazing people. I don't know and I don't care. But I also don't care about the like inner workings of their job and contracts and stuff. I don't care that, you know what I mean, she feels like she should be the headliner. I don't care that he feels like he should be the headliner. Just get on there and tell the jokes and make me laugh. And you know me, I'm a comedy show person. That's my thing. I want to be front row. I want to be made fun of. I want to be a part of the show. I want to laugh. That's what I came here for. I paid my money. I bought these expensive drinks that I could have had in the car at the house for half the price. I want to laugh.
Stop front. I know you got that flask when you go in there. Go ahead.
Already had that. I could have had it.
Front.
Come
Stop
on.
front.
Come on.
You got the do say in the flask.
Right, in her pocket.
Thank you. I drink in the car. I only take my flask to Top Golf because their prices are ridiculous. But other than and the Chiefs games because their prices are also ridiculous. But other than that, I pay for my drinks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't dislike Mo'Nique. I just think that she doesn't handle conflict well. I think she's
At
too
all.
old to not be able to have a conversation with people that she has conflict with. And you can't sit here and say, hey, I thought you was my brother. You put your feet under my table and then decide to handle a potential dispute at a comedy show. That's not how I would handle anything. If one of us had a dispute about something, no one would know about it but me and you. So she's just, to me, she's just unprofessional and she just is immature because she needs to handle her business like a woman in private. We don't all care. She likes the attention and people who like attention annoy me. So yes, I disagree with how she handled it, but I don't dislike her as a person because I don't know her. So I just feel like you think that there's only like two sides of the argument, those people that like Mo'Nique and those people that dislike Mo'Nique. I'm not either one. And I said from the beginning, I'm gonna keep wearing my bonnets clearly. And I'm gonna keep disagreeing when she do dumb stuff. That's
I mean, that's the thing. Yeah, Marv's like, oh, just say you don't like her. It's not that we don't like her. I mean, I don't not like her. I don't like her. No, it's not. It has nothing to do with anything. Because I mean, even if I like you, I'm not gonna have no problem calling you out and telling you when you're wrong. You know, I may not call you out in front of like, you know, somebody that I know I don't like, you know. I may pretend like, you know, you were right if it's somebody that I don't like that you beefing with, but then we get to the side and be like, man, you know you're wrong, right? You know, I'm not just gonna agree with you just for the sake of agreeing. The same thing with Mo'Nique. Like she was dead wrong for that. And I think a lot of people are right. Like she's just kind of lost like her niche. Like she's not funny anymore. And so for her to fill 15 minutes of her time with, you know, that rant about DL and to not hardly tell any jokes, it's almost like she didn't have anything funny to say. Like her only thing that she can do is just like talk crazy to people. That's the only way she can get attention. She lost a little bit of weight, so she can't do the skinny girl jokes anymore. You know, now that she's trying to be slim. And, you know, she just doesn't, I think she probably needs to, I don't know, maybe work more on being an actress and leave comedy alone because it's just really not working. And then like, you know, the famous words of Marv, like I feel like she was shadow boxing. Like she went at DL instead of going at the promoter. Like she knows how stuff like that works, whether you're booking a comedy show, whether you're booking a concert. You go to everybody, you ask 5 or 6 people if they can do the show. 5 or 6 people are going to tell you what they want in return. You're going to go with whoever can give you the biggest bang for your buck, and you're going to make that person happy. They're going to be the headliner, whether it's the biggest dressing room, the best hotel, whether it's the rental car, whether it's the females in the room, or, you know, the drink or whatever else it's going to be. And she just pretty much got outbidded. So, I mean, there's no reason to get mad at him because that promoter chose DL's. You know, she had her little stuff typed up. DL had his little stuff typed up. The promoter looked at both of them and said, hey, so I'm going to go with this guy. But she couldn't really go at the promoter because she knows already there's a lot of people that don't want to work with her. So she really couldn't make it about the promoter. So she chose to, you know, misdirect her anger and go straight at DL. Like, she knew it wasn't on him. She knows how it works.
Yeah, I'm in agreement with you. See, her beef should not have been with DL. You know, it's one of those things where both people produce their paperwork saying this is what I was told, this is what I was told. And as someone who has very tiny bit of experience, you know, bringing people for shows and stuff, hey, you tell people, hey, such and such to get them there. And you know the whole time that, hey, what I told you ain't necessarily what's about to go down, but I had to get you here somehow. So was DL supposed to back down and let her close? Or was he supposed to stand on what he wanted? You know, she should have stood for what she wanted. You know, somebody has to be the bigger person, right? I guess she thought she was being a bigger person, but then when she got on stage and then let loose on DL, that was that was uncalled for. She should have just went at the promoters, man. To me, it was just, she probably was hurt, you know, thought that I'm getting, you know, I just got back in the good graces of a lot of folks and they want me headlining now again and all this. And then to come to find out that he done promised everything to everybody. And she probably wasn't expecting that. And so in that moment, you know, she probably lashed out. You know, I'm a big, you know, that's my whole issue with her is sometimes she speaks off the cuff, so, you know, goes right, speaks emotionally. Not saying there's anything wrong with being emotional, but I'm a process guy, man. You know, when you make decisions, when you speak, there's a process you go to. And when you do something like that, lets me know, to me, your decision-making process is flawed. And so, you know, that's my only thing. It was just a bad decision, but she might be right. I don't know. I just didn't like the way she went about it.
I think that's the thing, that my stance on the whole situation is this. It's probably going to shock a lot of people. I do think she should have handled it differently. I do think that she was legit with her contract. I think that her beef was with the promoters. I think that she went too far in going after DL Hughley. And I really wish that it would have been handled differently. I don't like seeing Black people fight. We talk about it all the time, how Black men and Black women are pitted against one another. And I always say that we're stronger together, much more strong together than we are divided. That being said, Arika brought the point where I said, just say you don't like her. And I stand on that because there's several people who just don't like her. I happen to be Facebook friends with a lot of people who I consider like gatekeeping bougie Negroes, and they're not going to like anything that Mo'Nique does. But here's the thing. Mo'Nique is not their target audience. They're not Mo'Nique's target audience. Mo'Nique's target audience love her. If you watch the video, she got a standing ovation.
Yeah, a lot of people.
Her people are down with her like 4 flats. They don't care nothing about what you bougie Negroes think. They don't. So my piece is this. After it all shook out, we realized, okay, everybody was like, all right, this seemed like a janky promoter deal, and probably the anger should be directed at the promoters. But this is what I didn't like. DL produced his contract, right? Everybody's like, oh, yeah, we was all instigated, right? It's like on the playground. When somebody say something, you like, ooh, then how's somebody gonna respond? But then you got all these Negroes talking about, watch Mo'Nique come with some fake paperwork. and then trying to discredit her fake paperwork, like you a dang entertainment attorney. You don't know nothing. Don't know. 99.5% of the people who was commenting the most are not attorneys, and they dang sure ain't entertainment attorneys. So that's why I said it don't matter what she would have said. It don't matter.
Hold on, a lot of those people.
Yeah, but you gotta understand her. It's her integrity.
Hold on. Let me finish my thought. I'll let y'all talk.
Okay, finish. Stop.
99.5% of these people, you ain't no attorney. How you gonna sit there and say, well, that contract ain't valid? Now, had Erika said something about the contract not being valid, I'd have been like, okay, let me take a little bit more, credence with what she says, right? I never heard Erika say that at all. Erika never said anything about that contract not being valid or DL's. So that's my point. And people just should admit, I don't fool with her. And any chance I get to pile on this woman, I'm going to do so. Now, what I hate is that she actually, for once, gave them ammunition. Because in my personal belief, she's been right all up until this situation. She was right about Lee Daniels. She was right about Tyler Perry. I personally believe she was right about Netflix. I hate it when Black women say, oh, well, she wasn't as popular as the white girl. She's fighting for fair income for Black women. Y'all sit here and we have a day about income disparity for Black women. You got Mo'Nique fighting for it, but you won't fight for her. But you want people to stand up for you when you're not making as much money as everybody else. That don't compute for me. It don't compute for me at all. So I don't condone what she did, but I do somewhat understand it. Because when you got people who are constantly coming at you, constantly discrediting what you have to say, you are put into a state where you feel like you need to defend yourself all the time and you lash out. So I wish she would have did differently. I hate that she gave these Negroes an opportunity to say, you know what, that's just her. She ain't no good. She crazy. She need to do whatever. I hope she does continue to have success and that we, eventually move past this because she's highly talented. And I'll be the first to say it, and I'll let y'all come in. I stand hard for Mo'Nique, but I really don't like her comedy. I don't think she's funny. I wouldn't pay to go see her. I wouldn't. I don't even think DL funny. DL not funny. He's not. When Mo'Nique said, I close the queens of comedies, you open for the kings. She wasn't lying. So it's just unfortunate. And I know people are going to continue to rant about Mo'Nique. And I think that's a bad deal. But go ahead, y'all.
Now, I was going to say, you're talking about the 99.5% of these people are not attorneys, but you never know. They're very smart. A lot of them were infectious disease experts at one point. I mean, seriously, these people are multi-talented folks.
Right. Exactly.
Don't underestimate these people.
Immunologists, they don't believe the CDC. They don't believe Mo'Nique's paperwork, but let DL come with a memo.
They're economists.
That's true.
But the thing is, you don't have to be an expert. Yeah. You don't have to be an expert to have an opinion. We have this show about all kind of stuff in all fields that we don't work in. So you can be an opinion, but you got to look at the character. Erika's attorney, like most of the time when you're fighting a case, some people produce evidence, some people don't. All you're doing is arguing the fact back and forth. It's Mo'Nique's characters in question. She lashes out, she acts irrationally. So of course they're gonna automatically believe DL versus Mo'Nique in a lot of cases.
I have one response to that, C.
What's that?
Has she been wrong?
I believe she has.
Was she wrong with Lee Daniels?
Yes.
Lee Daniels apologized. What
he apologized for the way he made her feel. There's a difference. If I apologize to you for the way I made you feel, I meant what I said. And I would probably say it again, but I did not mean to make you feel that way.
That's being evasive and that's shirking liability.
By saying I apologize for the way I made you feel is not saying that I was wrong in any way at all. That's what happened. And the Netflix thing, I said from the get-go, and you know that, Marv, I said she was right to ask for whatever money she wanted to, whatever she felt she was owed. Where she went wrong was she brought in that other comedian who was at the top of her game. Mo'Nique should have just fought for herself. She should have said what she did, what she's doing now, what she felt she was worth. When she brought in that Amy chick, who at the time had like 2 or 3 movies that were blockbuster hits, was doing shows, selling out stadiums. Mo'Nique hadn't did anything in 30 years, and that's where she went wrong. So that's what I said.
That's a lie.
Oh, she
She
did
said
Precious.
30 years.
Okay.
That's a
30
lie.
years.
We
That's a
only
lie.
40.
That's a
She
lie.
did Precious.
All her blockbusters is
Wow.
from
This ain't
At
no
the
right.
time, Mo'Nique should have fought for herself. That's what she should have did instead of dragging people in.
I really don't understand how you can impugn her character when she's been right. She has been. I mean,
I don't feel
I mean, let me tell you something. I would not apologize to somebody that I didn't do nothing wrong to. There are plenty of people out here, plenty of folks out here who got beef with me. And guess what? See, I don't lose an ounce of sleep. You know why? Because I know I don't do dirty. I don't do people dirty. I don't dirtbag people. In my life, I've dirtbagged maybe 2 people. One I found and apologized to. I'm searching for the other. So if I didn't do anything to you, what am I apologizing for? You wouldn't apologize. You would not apologize. You would not apologize, see.
I didn't say me.
You would,
I said
hold on,
them.
hold on. But you would not apologize for anything if you didn't feel you did do anything wrong. And
I'm not a good example.
And I know you wouldn't. And I know you wouldn't.
I wouldn't, but I'm not a good example. God's still working on me.
I think I apologize to my clients all the time when I really want to be like, y'all are stupid. So sometimes I just think it's like, for me, it's more of a professional thing.
Yeah.
Like, because I want to be like, sometimes they message me at the wrong time. They catch me with the wrong energy and I say what I really think instead of what I'm supposed to say. And so then I got to come back and apologize and be like, listen, what I meant to say was, I really meant what I said. I meant it. I'll say it again. But at the same time, professionally, as an attorney, I got to say it to you this way. So it'll make sense to you. And so, you know, I'm not a complete, you know, asshole, which I am, but I try not to be that way as an attorney.
And like Lab said, it's business.
Yeah, in business, people apologize being passive aggressive all the time.
Exactly.
You know, all the time. And it's, you know they didn't do anything wrong, but that's kind of like the entrance into, you know, it's kind of to soften you up for what's about to come. They're like, I'm sorry, and then they hit you.
Why that doesn't
boom,
happen.
boom, boom, boom.
Let me tell you why that didn't happen. Because when you apologize, you open yourself up for more things. That's why it doesn't happen. What you apologize? What are you apologizing for if you didn't do anything wrong?
Again, what you're doing is you apologize to soften that other person up.
Yeah, it happens all the time.
It happens all the time between husband and wife.
It
happens all the time between husband and wife. It don't happen all the time between man and business. It just doesn't, y'all. It does.
It does.
I only apologize because I don't need bar complaints.
All the time.
I witnessed it earlier. There's a team member of mine. I'm not gonna say the situation or whatever, but she just has that personality to where anytime she thinks anybody else in that office anywhere is mad at her, she immediately goes up, I'm sorry, are you okay? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do this. Are you okay? And she doesn't do absolutely anything wrong. She just hates to make people feel, or she doesn't want people to feel a certain way about it. It's just a lot of it's just personality.
That's
and she might not be like that outside of
That's
work.
that person's individual psychosis. That's not business.
So what we're saying is there's different situations to where people do that though. You're looking at it from your point of view. Just because you wouldn't do it doesn't mean
it's not my point of view. Mo'Nique was very specific in saying Lee Daniels contributed. Hold on. Lee Daniels contributed to me being blackballed. They wanted me to do free work and I wouldn't do it. He contributed to me being blackballed. The example that C says somebody made up in their mind that people are mad at me, so they're just going to give a blanket apology. No, she was very specific in her accusation towards him, Tyler, and Oprah. And Tyler and Lee said, my bad. What are you apologizing for if it had no credence? Let me tell you something. If somebody said, hey, Marv, you did X, Y, and Z to me, and I know I didn't do it, I'm not apologizing.
But they could have been like, that chick is crazy as fuck. And then she's like, that contributed.
And hold on. And we know that Lee Daniels is a dirtbag. It was proof. Dame Dash called him out on it. So, like, I mean, that goes back to my point.
Who's our second source?
What's wrong with? See, that's the problem. Whenever you got somebody who full-throatedly with their chest speaks up for themselves and for Black people, y'all try to dismiss them by they crazy or they wrong. You do it to Dame, you do it to Mo'Nique. And I feel him 100%. What's wrong? Lee ain't disputed none of this stuff. So what y'all defending him for?
legitimately just didn't hear who our second source was. I don't even know what happened with Dame. I don't know anything about Lee Daniels, and I don't care. My problem with Mo'Nique is not that she's right or wrong. It's just how she handles conflict.
And
She keeps
yeah.
putting Black women in that angry Black women category with her rants and temper tantrums. And then
You in
she's
the-
like,
you in-
you're
you in
like,
the- you
you're
in the
fighting for
anti-Black
Black
women
women.
category
She's
anyway.
fighting against Black women. She's over here talking about us and our bonnets, but then she wants us to jump up and down when people say something to her. Why would I do that?
Because you still mad about that bonnet. You still mad.
No, because I'm gonna wear my bonnet.
Hey,
I'm gonna be a skinny bitch. I'm gonna be all this.
Yeah,
I
would,
can't change it.
yeah.
I'm it. This is 40. I'm stuck in my ways now. So, but I just think that we take disagreement and turn it into dislike when I just disagree. I disagree with her stance on things. I disagree with how she handles conflict, and I disagree with her like basic like overall personality, because I think that she has an aggressive personality. And for me, I found that especially in my line of work, not being aggressive has been more effective for me. So that's just me disagreeing with how she handles things. I'm not saying don't handle things the way you handle things, because I'm also not a millionaire. So maybe if I yelled at a few more people, I'd be a millionaire. I don't know. I'm not saying she's wrong. I'm just saying that's not my way. So I can disagree and not dislike her. Let
me call y'all out on something. When we first started this show, back before we was on YouTube, when we still had the struggle mic where he was talking in the earpiece.
They couldn't even see that though. They didn't even know about that.
They didn't even know.
We did a show. Y'all remember there was this Black lady that was at McDonald's and she was throwing her food at the employees. Y'all remember this? Oh, conveniently, y'all remember. She was throwing the food at the employees, and the employees threw a hard ass container. Right, boom,
the napkin container,
and hit her in the face, right? Mm-hmm. And y'all remember when I said I think the response was disproportionate, and what did each one of y'all say to me? What did y'all say?
What? I don't remember what you do.
I'm gonna tell you what you said. See, you said you can't tell me how to respond to when somebody does me wrong.
I did, and I always say
each one of y'all said that. So I guess that applies to y'all, but not Mo'Nique.
No, we're talking about our perspective. It's our perspective. It's the same thing. I don't agree with her.
I always say that. But what I'm saying is DL didn't do nothing wrong. It was business. He outbidded her. He won. Had she flipped out on the promoter, I wouldn't have said nothing. I mean, Mo'Nique's a Sagittarius, so I understand where she's coming from a lot of times. I don't have the millions to act a fool like that. I gotta reel it in. So but what I'm saying is she has a right to react that way towards the promoter because she got bumped up front from the bottom. She didn't have a right to say all that to DL. That's what I'm saying.
Y'all, everybody that's live on Facebook, you got a comment, you got a question, drop it in the chat. We'll read it. Who do y'all agree with?
No, I'm just saying, like you said.
Hold on. Do you agree with me or do you agree with the crew? Drop your comment or your question.
Wait a minute. First of all, these black and white yes or no.
I'm a black and white person. Y'all know me for over 20 plus years. Y'all know there's no gray area with Marv B. And I just wait. Y'all see how C is the queen of this skirting over something. So when I called y'all out and I said, wait a minute, y'all said it's too bad we ain't no SoundCloud no more. Y'all said you can't tell me how to respond to how somebody is approaching or attacking me. But I guess it don't apply to Mo'Nique.
Listen, it applies to Mo'Nique just fine.
Who attacked her?
Who attacked her?
Not attacking her.
Whoever she perceived to be, whether it's Lee Daniels.
No, we're talking about
Perry, whether she for some reason, and I don't know the whole story, and I kind of believe I kind of believe that there has to be some underlying problem with her and DL.
She
and
said it
she
was
called
Steve
out
Harvey and
Steve.
DL.
There's got to be something there where you realize when you've been in a situation where like you've been in you deal with somebody and you know they did something shady to you, or there's something about them you don't like, and the minute they do something, you pounce on it and it's disproportionate.
That was her chance.
I think that was it. But what I'm saying though is you have to be fair. It ain't, why is it not approach? So if you go and you throw a napkin holder, somebody's throwing food at you, right? Do I get to say you need to go to counseling? There's something wrong with you?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
If I try to come on, okay, so
Okay.
first of all, she said in her show, he went on a tour and talked about how she was wrong about the Netflix thing. So she obviously already felt some type of way. But then she also went on to say, you know, we was people, you don't talk about family, and then proceeded to talk about his family. Like, if you gotta have some type of, you know what I mean? Like, there are certain things that I say that I'm not going to do. I try to stand on that. And then if I don't stand on it, I try to at least come back and be like, you know what? I was mad. I was wrong because, you know, I flipped out. My emotional response was not appropriate, but he did this. This is how I reacted. Not saying he didn't deserve to get blazed. I'm just saying it wasn't the time or the place. Don't come to the comedy show that I paid full price for to talk to me about your job disputes. I don't care. I don't care.
You know what? And let me tell you, I agree with you 100%. I agree with Seeing Lab as well when they said, hey, listen, she handled it poorly. I agree with y'all. What I don't agree with is how all of a sudden y'all on this high horse, right? But it ain't, it's not fair. It's not fair to me, and it's not right.
Apples and
oranges. Do y'all think
apples and oranges?
A high horse how though? All we're saying is that she didn't perform well at work that day.
Nah, y'all say way more than that.
What else did I say?
Man, I probably said a lot and I still stand on it.
Okay, all right. So, last question. Do y'all think she can come back from this?
Yeah.
Come back from what?
Yeah, she's
this incident.
Definitely. We were talking about that. Me and my husband were talking about 50 Cent probably shaking his head. I was like, 50 Cent is probably counting his money right now.
But come back from what? It's not like she's been selling out
controversy. He's better happy or that.
Well, no. Well, how do you know? How do you know what she's done? I mean, because you don't know what DL has done other than his radio show.
His radio show, that's it.
I mean, but you're not in every city, so you don't know if Mo'Nique is.
We're not even talking about DL. See, now there you go talking about me skating over stuff.
Well, what I'm saying is
she's gonna come back.
What I am saying.
Where's she going?
What I am saying is, you don't know what any of them do unless they go to OKC and they show up, or they do something ignorant like this and it shows up on social media. You don't know if she's been touring or not. You don't know if she's been in shows or not. You don't.
Come on now.
You don't.
We do know because 50 Cent said, let's bring her back from the dead, and then reeled her in by putting her on his show.
50 Cent said, let's bring her back from the dead in the acting arena. This girl,
she's not selling out no shows.
This girl. How do you know?
You don't even have no material, Mark. She lost all the weight.
You said yourself you didn't even think she was funny.
I'm not her target audience.
I'm not a lot of unfunny people sell out. Yeah, a lot of.
I'm not her target audience. Hey, let me tell you what. Let me tell you this. She did a whole show, 15 minutes of ranting about her contract dispute, right? And y'all said y'all didn't like it, but if you watch that video, all them people that paid to see her, they stood up and gave her a standing ovation. So no, don't make it seem like people will not come see her. She's got an audience that does follow her. So don't sit here and try to slight this woman because you don't like her and say she's not doing nothing. Because she
ain't a headliner. So I mean,
no, that's like she's gonna be able to come back.
Wait a minute. That's a lie because she was in Dallas and she headlined.
No. She was a headliner on her paperwork too. So I mean, you know, I'm just knowing
she was in Dallas in real life and she headlined. Yeah. Right. And while y'all playing, she's a hell of an actress. She's a hell.
I did not say that earlier.
She's a hell of a.
I literally said that. She needs to stick to acting.
So all the shade you trying to throw, see, guess what? that girl's still gonna shine. She is. If 50
I ain't
gonna,
gonna lie.
She's gonna stop shining. She's not broke.
50 gonna put her on Power. 50 gonna put her on
Ain't
Power
gonna
and make
pay
it
her though.
and make it even better. 50 get everybody paid.
She gonna have to be
man,
star in row.
Omari Hardwick said today 50 underpaid him drastically on Power.
What?
Not
What?
my
I
boo.
didn't
He
see
was
that.
doing low budget
Yeah,
films.
I didn't see
before
that.
Power.
I saw the exact opposite of that, Lab. What did you see?
No. He said he should have been making 150 grand an episode. He wasn't making nowhere near that. Based on
so
other
I saw.
stuff.
Are you sure about that, bro? Because what I saw,
Yeah.
the small clip, and there's problem when you just go off clips.
Yeah, no, I didn't go off clips.
There's a problem when you just go off clips. He talked about how 50 loaned him money.
Yeah, loaned him money because he wasn't getting paid.
50 loaned him money, right? And then 50 loaned him another stack of bread. He said
Twice,
gave him like 20 grand 1 year, 20 grand another, right?
Yeah.
He said he paid him back with interest.
Yeah.
In another clip, they was talking about, wait a minute, you wasn't getting paid. And he was talking about his previous time in Hollywood, where he was saying, nah, I wasn't making the money I was supposed to make. And they said, well, Angela Bassett making 250, she the highest paid. So I'm thinking you make about 150. He said, yeah, that's about right. That's what I'm getting now. And 50 got him that. Before then, he wasn't getting that money. So 50 get folks paid.
Including when he did Power, he wasn't getting that. Now he's getting it. But on Power, he was not getting that.
I don't know. We saw it differently. I mean, I'd have to look at it, whatever.
But at the end of the day, he's fine though, so he need to be getting paid.
Can he come back from it though?
And guess what else?
Can he come back from being fine and underpaid?
I'm not gonna speak on his looks, but guess what else he is though?
Yeah, true.
He's A5. So we're gonna.
Oh, I thought you was gonna say he's married to a white woman. Oh, I guess that's acceptable because he's A5, huh?
We all can't be perfect.
Look how you like the glaze right over things.
I think we talked about it enough. Hey y'all, check it out. I've been guilty of going hard in pain for Mo'Nique, and I tend to piss people off. And I really don't. I mean, I care, but I don't care. But if I have offended you because of this debate over Mo'Nique, get over it. So with that being said, you follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at manlistenshow. Subscribe to the show on YouTube. Follow us on, you can subscribe on iTunes. Go to www.manlistenshow.com. You can listen to all the past episodes. A lot of good shows. This is probably one of the best ones because when we arguing and going at it, people seem to love it. But
you'd be wrong during every argument.
Hold on, but that's just that's the heart of this whole episode.
What you say, C?
Black folks arguing, man.
What'd you say, C?
I said you'd be wrong 90% of the time.
Shit. Okay.
3 against 1.
No, I do not be wrong. You see where I called y'all out on y'all own words. Y'all was like, yeah, no. but she was still wrong. But anyway, we holler at y'all next time. Peace.
Apples and oranges.
Peace. Right, that part.